Congratulations, Booker T. You won the Green Frog Supermarket Sweepstakes. Oh, great. What's my prize? Sucker! A can of whoop-ass courtesy of Stone Cold Steve Austin. My fucking goodness. Stone Cold Steve Austin beat him from pillar to post, from produce to nut section, to the milk cooler, to the beer cooler, to all over the goddamn place, and then price check on a jackass. My goodness, this segment was fucking glorious some 20 years later. I'm John Renton with the Retro Review WWE Smackdown from December 13, 2001. And I don't think there's any better episode I could close this chapter of covering the invasion angle and the fallout on than this one, because I just love this segment. It's so fucking good. And honestly, after this, things kind of enter a bit of a lull. And also, I have retro-reviewed a lot of, episodic portions, and I'm tired. So I think this is the perfect climax with, the image of Stone Cold Steve Austin having milk dripping off of him. So have fun thinking about the rattlesnake climaxing. What? Different kind of Stone Cold Stunner. There was another episode, or there was a whole episode around this, but really this is the goddamn highlight. But this was one of the better episodes of SmackDown during this time period. It's in Bakersfield, California. It was at the Green Frog Supermarket, which I actually don't know if that is a cover name or if that actually was the name of the supermarket in Bakersfield, California. And I've said the name Bakersfield, California a few too many times, so now it's lost all meaning. But if anybody has been from Bakersfield, California, let me know if the Green Frog Supermarket was the actual name. Kind of reminds me of the market that we had here called Marketplace, which was a bit of a dive, but honestly holds some fond childhood memories. So anyway, what will Austin's response be after being screwed over by Booker T and losing to Chris Jericho? Well, he beats up Booker in a supermarket, I just said in the intro. Colin King on commentary. The Metal Angle remix is just really, really weird. Kirk Angel and William Regal against Rikishi and Edge. It didn't last long. Regal had Kurt hide his nucks and says, "Oh, hey, here's your nucks. Here's these. Thanks for letting me store them near my junk." That's always good. Have a partner that will store something hard near their junk. If you don't have a friend that will store something of yours near their junk, are they really your friend? I'm just going to keep talking about people's junks until you guys get incredibly uncomfortable. So anyways, the jump start didn't really last very long, and a spear in a couple minutes, and that's it. Edge and Rikishi get the victory. And then Regal stops the stink face, but gets his own, but then still gets Rikishi. But then Edge hits him with a chair and bloodies him. In fact, his nose was gushing quite a bit. I mean, that's the one thing about Regal. Regal, and bless him, I mean, and he got clean. He got through any issues that he had, but my fucking goodness, he had a lot of nose issues. I mean, for like a year plus. I don't remember if it was a deviated septum, if it was just like, something hereditary. No, I'm not talking about like Toni Collette banging her head against a goddamn wall. Sorry, spoilers. Hereditary's been out for 3 fucking years. But, man, he was bleeding quite a bit. Vince and Booker arrive. We're in Bakersfield. Those poor dogs. Not because of Bakersfield, just those poor dogs. Regal was being stretchered out. Bloody hell, he says, because he's covered in blood. It's funny. Flair says, "Hey, guys, no hard feelings and everything. Here, come to my skybox and everything. It's on me. All of this is on me. You don't have to pay for it. It's your show." And then Test was being creepy towards Lita. Why did they make Test a practical assaulter of women without actually doing it? It's a little bit weird. But yeah, because Lita was, had just been kicked to the curb by Matt, they decided to have Test hit on. It's like, once you go Test, you forget to boot the rest. My God, Test was so fucking Canadian. It's not even funny. Nothing against Canadians at all. You guys are awesome. But goddamn, he really just amplified that. And he called her some kind of tease. Edge found that out later. And Jeff then says that he will hit Test. I'll hit, it's not like RVD. I'll face you in the ring tonight. So, Tajiri took on Crash Holly for the Cruiserweight Championship. Crash hit some good offense, but this was really, really short. Tajiri wins. Crash gloms and then goes after Tori. Lights out, and the Hurricane is back. Why? Who knows? Hurricane's just back. And Vince was like, "What's up with that?" Saying it in the most generic Vince way possible. Flair yells at Lance Storm to leave him alone. He says, "You hired Hurricane back, but not me?" It's like, there's a shortage of WWF superheroes. Why that made me laugh, I don't know. Because it was WWF at the time, hence why I'm wearing this sweet shirt. And my sister painted this logo, and it's really awesome. So, he gets one more chance. And then, So we get a table of goods. It's a bunch of burgers and everything, flame broiled burgers and all that stuff. And hey, we're gonna eat Austin's food. We're gonna devour Austin's meat. Ha ha ha! So Test took on Jeff Hardy with Lita, and Jeff had to hit and run, and then we got a Lita Corona to Test, and then he pushes the ref and causes a DQ when Jeff almost won. And then Rock comes down and lays out Test with a rock bottom because Test had attacked Rock, the previous day or the previous show. This burger's on fire. No, I'm not going to try to do that because I already tried to, I've done too many song references and my voice is shot, as you can hear. So, the beer, by the way, if that was actual beer, would have set that burger on fire, or even more, because alcohol. But it is what it is. They decided to have the fries and the tater tots and stuff like that. APA with, playing poker with Matt, and Farouk keeps asking questions about Lita and everything. If they ever practice at home, and having Lita's, crotch right in his face, which I'm not saying it's unappealing. I mean, then I'll be damned. So then Vince and Booker are eating until firefighters arrive, and one of them is Austin. Austin chases Booker T in a firefighter's outfit through the arena. Booker gets in a limo. Austin gets in his truck that Booker had hotwired, by the way, recently. Because that kind of stuff, hotwiring a vehicle is always a good thing. And let's just have a black guy do it because they know how to do that. And it's a wonder that, that's the only racist thing they did with Booker. Oh. Right, the whole Triple H thing. So Austin chases after Booker, and then Lance Storm loses to Kane while pyro smoke is surrounding the ring like we're in a goddamn Silent Hill game. And then more APA and Matt card playing, and hey, if you want to know if she's a natural redhead, Bradshaw says, ask Jeff. Well, what? Why don't we have a fight or whatever? It's like, what's his problem? Maybe she's not a natural redhead because he threw the poker table around. So he is going to face Bradshaw later. Good job, Matt. The Dudleys and Christian with Stacy took on Sky Eddie Albert and Taz in a match that had more pyro smoke than ever before. Scotty got targeted, then later actually managed to get his worm out. Stacy tried to stop his worm and then got pantsed because women, am I right? And then Taz mission on Christian for the win. Christian was the European champion at this point, by the way. That shows what they thought of the European title. Considering it would be retired a number of months later, I'm not shocked. Vince on the phone with Booker. I think I lost Austin. Lostin, if you will. Green Frog Supermarket, their slogan, we're always a leap ahead. That's good. It's good. I like that. It's stupid. It's a stupid play on words, but I like that. And he says, I think I saw Austin's truck. I gotta go. I gotta go, Vince. And then he just, man, those goddamn early 2000 cell phones. So when you had to pull the goddamn antenna out and everything, it got him so aging myself. You had to pull the antenna out to get a better signal, and the antenna was about this size or whatever. And if a slight breeze came, it could just snap the goddamn thing. So Bradshaw took on Matt in a match that did not last very long. I mean, it lasted longer than I thought it would, but it still was over in a couple minutes. There was a mauling at first. Matt tried to break Bradshaw down, but eventually got hit with the clothesline from hell. And then we get to Flair on the phone with Austin, who wants to talk to Vince. And he yells at him, I'm in the parking lot of the Green Frog Supermarket, where their slogan is, we're always a leap ahead. I'm going to do some grocery shopping. I'm going to get some, like Pop-Tarts and all this stuff. He just names off all this food. I got to wrote that down, but that would take him forever. A case of beer, what? Get a shopping cart, and you do grocery shopping, all these what chants, because the call is being broadcast into the arena. And then to the supermarket. Booker, I believe, tried some corn pops or some honeycomb. I think they were corn pops. There was a lot of cereal there. I love corn pops. And it's like, a can of whoop ass on aisle 2. And he goes there and Booker attacks some guy that he thinks is Austin because he's in jeans and a t-shirt. And this guy's got a taped on goatee. I don't even know why. It was so funny. And then Austin pops a beer and proceeds to just beat the fucking piss out of him. If he might as well have just taken a guy on a notepad here. He might as well have just taken that and just banged him on the head and just continued to do that. He might as well have just taken full bottles and just hit him over the head and stuff like that. But Flair's enjoyed it. Vince is horrified because they're in the skybox. I mean, they can't do it. Not that Vince would have done anything there. And I wonder how much money, how much money they had to pay to do that stuff. Because there were actual shoppers there. They didn't close this off to, like, do this kind of thing, which actually I guess kind of would have made it even a little bit sillier, as opposed to the stuff that they did afterward, because they had actual shoppers. More on that here in a bit. Austin just beating them up and down the aisle. They're in the produce section, stuff like that. You want some ketchup on that ass, woman? Do you have any Grey Poupon? And he throws nuts, he throws beans on him. I mean, he's just beating the shit out of him. And then Booker gets flour on him or whatever because he defloured him. Okay, that was a bit stupid. And it's just throwing him all over the goddamn place. Of course, there were other shoppers there, and seeing a redneck, I mean, because that's what Austin is, let's be fair, beating the shit out of Booker, a black man, and there are people in Bakersfield, California, you like that boy. Oh boy, a healthy dose of racism right there, and right there in some states where you would think that maybe calling a black person boy wouldn't exactly work out all that good. Had Booker not been selling this whole thing, probably would have beat the shit out of those guys. And let's be honest, looking at those guys, it didn't look like they'd been in a fight in their goddamn life. But, healthy dose of racism. And then Booker is holding the 12-pack of Budweiser prominently so we can get that advertising money. And then into the stock room, Austin's throwing eggs at him. It's like, 4 dozen eggs, more to keep me large, or however the fuck, goddamn Beauty and the Beast. I love that goddamn movie, but I fucking just lost the lyrics right there. And then, not the paper towels, not all the paper towels now, and they weren't even brawny, so no wonder they couldn't have absorbed all that stuff. Into the freezer. So Booker's thinking he's all covered in all this stuff and everything, and Austin wanders out of the milk cooler, just drinking. Thanks, Book, you got milk. And just beat the shit out of him. And then the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's amore. So much stuff. And then, he's just beating the shit out of him. And puts him on the conveyor belt thing. And this is how small, it reminds me again of that market that I used to frequent when I was a kid. It's just, it had it wasn't those long ones that you could get like now, longer conveyor belt. This is short. This is the super short ones. That market was built back. I swear that market had to have been built back in the 70s. It looked renovated, painted, but the way that stuff was done. Cute cashier, by the way. And then price check on a jackass, and that's it. And then he leaves. And that whole thing, bell to bell, so to speak, was 8 minutes tops, and it flew by. And then there are some of these, segments of cinematic stuff or whatever now on WWE and other companies and everything that seem to go on forever. This was well paced. This was how you do it. No, not the Montel Jordan song, which is now stuck in my head, which is always stuck in my head because a lot of songs are. So, Jericho and Undertaker took on Rock and RVD. Yeah, that wasn't a main event. That would have been funny if that was a main event. Big fight field. There's not all that much cover about this. Pace was frenetic, crowd was into it. People's elbow gets broken up because the referee gets pulled out. No DQ, though, on The Undertaker. A missed frog splash, and then the walls of Jericho get broken up. And then Jericho brings in a chair because the referee, for some reason, is distracted by Rock and Undertaker outside the ring fighting. And the Van Daminator. And then 1, 2, 3. RVD pins Chris Jericho and will go on to face him, I believe, on the following Raw, which I'm not going to review because I need to get back to, I need to just take a break and cover movies and stuff like that and everything. And I've reviewed a lot of wrestling this year and last year and the year before. But this was fun. And the supermarket Stevestakes are closed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retland. I'll see you soon.